This is Mongolian Mindset, and today me and PC are going to be typing Larry Ellison, guys. Okay. Someone recommended him, and I was like, fuck it, let's do it. He is the CEO of Oracle. So we got a CEO. Maybe we'll get a different type than we usually get. You guys, we use Linda Berens Interaction Styles and Temperament combined with cognitive functions. We have a breakdown of all of these metrics online. Just look up the playlist, how to find anyone's personality type. We have the cognitive functions broken down. And we also have our master list as well, if you want a shorter one. But if you want more hands-on experience with us, you have to join our Discord. And I think that's going to be the best MBTI place in the coming years, especially when it comes to information and actually being able to use that information. And I think if you want to be a part of something special, you definitely want to join that. But if you want to get a speed blitz with how to like do this quicker, you want to join our Demigod Dojo where some of our typists like Zara and PC actually have it laid out from the easiest sources, like the magazine shit, like Linda Barron stuff, to the more complex stuff, right? Where and you get to converse with these guys. And you can compare like what they're seeing, what you're seeing, and why they came to this conclusion, so that you can kind of get on the same page, and that can speed up your knowledge and understanding. So you could type your family members, you could type your girlfriend's relationships accurately, okay, and not be part of personality fucking stupid ass base, okay. PC, anything you want to say before we get into this, man?
Yeah, I don't know who this guy is. Well, you said that he's the CEO of Oracle.
Yeah.
I've used their software from time to time, so I
Um,
mean I get that, but I don't know who this person is personally. So, or not personally, but like I'm not even too abreast of what he does
okay.
outside of his role. So
Yeah, I don't know much about it. I just know he's been. Some people said something about he helped Steve Jobs or something like that, or mentor Steve Jobs, or was a friend of Steve Jobs. I don't want to get the information wrong. But
yeah, fair enough.
Steve Jobs.
There's some connection.
Yeah. So I don't want to get the information wrong and have people in the comments like, Mercer, you got it wrong. God damn it. Woo-hoo." I'm like, oh god damn. They on my ass, man. The Mongolians are on my ass, man. So we got Larry Ellison, guys. Personnel database has him as an ENTJ, right? Not with a lot of votes. So they got ESFP right behind that. So that's fucking
At least
interesting.
they got the same functions.
Yeah, yeah. Um, but that's interesting. They got ESFP behind that. Um, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Usually, when you're talking about like tech startups and tech companies, that's usually your NTs. Just heads up. Like usually, that's gonna be your NTs, because they usually have like tech, high TE, high TI, that type of shit. High
Yeah,
intuition as
I'd
well.
imagine. I'd imagine with ESFP and ENTJ, they must see some decent TE and SE, so
Yeah,
we should be seeing that throughout this. Well, if they've got it right, but personally, W bases call that for a reason, so
yeah, yeah.
we'll see if they're getting better.
Yeah, so ENTJs guys are direct, they're initiating the outcome slash control. They're pragmatic, they're systematic, they're abstract. And when I always say with ENTJs, they are probably the least abstract of all of the abstract types, just being honest. TEFI and then SENI. But then you can get like, the creative types like George Lucas, and it'd be totally different. But generally speaking, they generally run dominant. So usually a lot more concrete. And they'll usually get mistyped ESTP. You know.
Mm.
All righty. So guys, that's what ENTJs are. Just letting you guys know. It's gonna be a fun one.
The relational database technology was invented by a guy by the name of Ted Codd, Dr. Ted Codd at IBM. It's based on relational algebra and relational calculus. It is a very mathematically rigorous uh, form of data management that we can mathematically prove to be functionally complete. And
TE.
this work was
Mhm.
done uh,
I'm getting direct TE.
in the early 70s by an IBM fellow by the name of Dr. Ted Codd. He published his papers, and
Yeah,
really
he's name
based
dropping a
on those
bit.
publications, Oracle decided to see if we couldn't beat, well, four guys, me and three other guys, see if we couldn't beat IBM to market with this technology based on the published IBM research papers. And in fact,
Outcome.
we did.
Very outcome there. That was outcome.
There are lots of times, especially in the early days, that were very, very difficult. I think the most difficult experience I had was in 1990 when Oracle had its only loss quarter in history. And we've been in business for 20 years. Of those 20 years, we
Only lost what's called in history. That's outcome TE.
lost money one quarter, and we had a very difficult time because we had doubled our sales virtually every year for 10 years.
Double the sales, 10 years, TE outcome.
Nine out of 10 years, 10 out of 11 years. It was really quite an amazing run. We were the fastest growing company in history. Still are the fastest growing.
Fastest growing company in history. That was 1997. I think that's probably changed now. So, yeah, definitely changed. But shout out to you for that, brother.
Company in history over a long period of time. And suddenly we'd hit a wall. We would reach $1 billion in revenue, and we were having
$1 billion in revenue, TE outcome.
serious management
Yeah,
problems all over the
let's
place.
knock off outcome, bro. This
And-
guy's spamming that shit.
He's ENTJ, man. He's
Well, we
spamming that
can still
shit.
look. We can still look for SINE, but
Yeah, we'll
you
go
know,
back and look, but
SENI.
he's just like
Yeah,
he's got
Dude,
that one move that
outcome is
works.
yeah. He's just like his outcome has just been spammed like a motherfucker, which is weird. It's like usually it takes a while to get people to drip feed you that shit, but usually with TE DOMs, whether it's ESTJs or ENTJs, they're just spamming it at you.
Yeah, spam it, dude. They just spam it. Like, look at this outcome. Look at me. Like, let me like just skip straight over the process. Like, hump right over it. So, guys, if you were just typing people, like we say, you always want to look at the abundance of something, right? So with TE, FI, outcome, and direct, you're really down to ESTJ and ENTJ, right? Like this guy's not selling you on a fucking vision. He's not, right? That's what people get wrong. If you see a motherfucker selling you on vision, probably an NI Dom, buddy. Probably an NI Dom, okay? Probably an NI Dom if they selling you on vision. But you know, ENTPs can sell you on some bullshit too. So and ENFP. So heads up to that. But they usually like, yeah, bottom line, we ain't really well, yeah, direct's gone too. So we're only down to
Oh yeah, direct. Yes,
yeah.
get rid of that then.
Yeah, so we're literally down to two types here, and it's literally like 3 minutes into the interview. Somebody said he was an INFJ. I don't know how the fuck. I don't know where you got an INFJ from doing shit like that.
The people who were running the company, the billion-dollar company, were the same people that run the company when we were a $50 million company, 1/20th the size. And I had an incredible sense of loyalty to those
Yeah,
to those
more
people who
metrics.
worked with me to build Oracle. And it was a very painful realization in 1990 that I was going to have to change the management team, that the company had outgrown the management.
Reorganizing more TE.
Yeah. So and he's bottom line here, right? I think if this guy was an INTJ, he'd have a lot harder time doing that because of the vision. But at the end of the day, if people get in the way of the vision, INTJ gonna cut you, right? You're gonna get cut. But at this time, the people aren't making the TE. They're not making the bottom line. Okay. So he's gonna cut you.
People who are good at running a $50 million company are not necessarily, those are the same skills. They're just different. Not one is better or worse. They're just entirely different skill set in running a $50 million company than a $1 billion company. And both skill sets are rare and precious. But we needed a different group of managers, and virtually the entire management team had to be replaced. And that means I had to ask people who I'd worked with for a decade to leave. I had to fire people. And that was the most difficult thing I had to do in business, asking them, yeah.
Yeah, I would just ask a question here. Why couldn't you lead them to victory? That would be my question. Like, why couldn't you lead them to victory? Like, was it them or was it you as well? You know, because you were part of the company when it was what 15 million. So I mean, I know change things, and I mean, maybe history says differently, but you were also part of those people, so that makes it interesting. Yeah.
A bunch of people
He
to
does make a good
leave
point though
Oracle.
when it comes to something like businesses and sports and stuff. There is different leagues and they have different goals and orientations towards them. So
Yeah.
you might bring people in who have a certain speciality or subset that are fine for a certain stepping stone to reach that milestone. But once they get past that point, they're kind of, I wouldn't say they're necessarily useless, but you're not paying top dollar for that speciality if it's no longer has any utilities at a company. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. But I'm just saying in general, like he's also part of them, you know. Like
Mm.
you can't like whip them into shape, like this is what we doing. Like, bro, y'all ain't doing this. Like, I don't know the whole story, but you fired everybody but yourself.
I had no choice.
Yeah.
I'd
Very,
have to
very low
ask them
FI.
to leave Oracle, or everyone would have to leave Oracle because there wouldn't be any Oracle left.
Would be no
So
Oracle left.
in that sense, it was a simple choice. It was thousands of people worked at Oracle. They deserve the best leadership we could find. Uh,
FI
and
deserve.
Hey, but you're part of the leadership too, bro. You're spearing
Mhm.
it. You are spearing it.
my primary responsibility was to the company and all of the staff, all of our shareholders and all of our customers. And therefore, I had to choose. And if I couldn't make that decision, then I had to go.
Woo! Very pragmatic.
Mm. Yeah.
If I
I was
couldn't make it,
absolutely
I had to go.
shocked the way we treated the Iraqis. We were incredibly aggressive against them. And, I mean, was that really right? Couldn't we have done that at different? I'm being sarcastic, by the way. Of course, we're aggressive against the Iraqis. They were, they invaded Kuwait. They were threatening our oil supplies. They were threatening the world order. And of course,
SC outcome, bro. Don't give a shit, man. Like I don't know if a ESTJ would have like walked on that line right there. That's a line there. You know, that's a line. Those are also people at the end of the day. Like that could come back and haunt you. But the ENTJ don't give a fuck.
it was the job of our armed forces to defeat the enemy. It is my job to, go out in the marketplace and win. And
Ooh,
we
very
run
SC.
ads that compare our products to the competitors' products. We don't lie about that. We just say we can do this,
TE.
they can't. We name the competition.
We can do this. They can't. SCTE outcome.
Mm.
It's fact-based advertising, and we say very clearly that that we're faster, and these tests prove it. We're more
These tests
Yeah.
prove
More
it.
metrics.
Empirical,
TE.
more TE.
we're more reliable, and these tests prove it. We're more economical, and so we'll
Outcome.
name a
Outcome.
we'll name a competitor.
Outcome.
That's considered that's not terribly, even though the facts are true, it's considered a little bit rude by some people. I don't understand.
Very
I
low
don't
FI.
think it's immoral.
I
I
don't
think
think it's immoral.
So,
that
Remember, somebody said
and
INFJ
again,
here.
very low FI. Yeah.
INFJ here. I don't know about that guy.
we are giving true facts to customers, giving valuable information to customers so they can make better decisions. It is Bill Gates' job to make Microsoft the biggest company on earth. That's what he's paid for. It's my job for Oracle to move from the number 2 software company in the world to become the number 1 software company in the world. That's my job. That's what I'm paid for. If
That's
I'm
another outcome.
Outcome. Outcome. Outcome.
if I'm not aggressive enough in the pursuit of that, if I'm not successful in the pursuit of that, I should be gotten rid
That's
of.
SC.
If the general running Desert Storm is not aggressive enough and successful enough in the pursuit of that goal, he should be fired.
That's more SCTE.
That's some symbolism there. That's some
Mm.
abstract comparison
I
there.
can I can see
Corporation's
why
prime.
the dummy based people still got ENTJ, man.
Yeah, because
This
I
dude's
mean,
just spamming TESE.
I mean, you can't
I
get
haven't even
this shit
really heard
wrong.
too much in the way of NI. Yeah.
Can't get this shit. You can't get it wrong, bro. Bro, it's just like fuck it, bro. Like outcome, don't give a fuck, bro. You ain't meeting the bottom line. I had to fire motherfuckers. It just hit me that shit. We were 15 million. Shit, we 1 billion. I got to get a new staff in here.
Primary goal is to defeat the competition in the marketplace.
How come?
More
I think
SE.
that my primary function is to have Oracle, is to make Oracle successful,
EE.
to make it a good and interesting place to work, because we
Outcomes.
don't want people to leave. People, this is America. People can change jobs, and they'll go. And people like to work with other intelligent and interesting people. They like to do
Some NE.
interesting things, and Oracle offer. We have fantastic salary scales. I think we're the highest paying company in Silicon Valley. We have
Highest
More
paid.
outcome.
Bro, this buddy just listening, huh?
wonderful benefits, all of these things. But again, don't mistake any of that for altruism. That is in our interest to retain our employees.
That's like the
Their
lowest
job,
FI
my
shit,
job is
bro.
to
That's
build.
so
He just
funny.
like straight up, like, bro, bottom line, don't give a fuck. It is what it is. We doing this shit to dominate and compete. I'm a 3SO. Yeah, bitch, hear me roar.
Their products in the competition, sell those products in the marketplace, and eventually supplant Microsoft and move from being number 2 to number 1. That is our reason for being.
Our
Oracle is
vision.
the number 1 software company in
Not
the world for providing technology to manage information. But we're only the number 2 software company. Number 1 software company for information management, number 2 software company overall. Microsoft is the number 1 software company. But right now we're living at the dawn of the information age, not the dawn of the PC age. So we're wonderfully positioned to pass Microsoft and become number 1. That's my job. Personal computer was
bottom
designed as a
line.
Starting to look for the
standalone
next fucking outcome.
device.
You see, like he's not displaying like how the difference between INTJ is they would be leading with vision, right? Leading with vision. He's just leading with TE. Bottom line,
Yeah.
get this shit done.
There was no internet around 1981 when the PC was invented. There weren't a lot of local area networks and corporations and schools and government agencies back in 1981. The world has changed. There are networks everywhere, around the world, in offices and schools and major government institutions. So why not have computer networks that are similar to television networks or telephone networks?
Abstract.
A television network is enormously complicated. It's got satellites and microwave relay stations and cable head ends and
Structure.
recording studios. And you have this huge professionally managed network accessed by a very low cost and simple appliance, the television. Anyone can learn how to use a television. 97% of American households have televisions.
90%
These metrics.
TE.
Yeah.
TE.
94% of American households have telephones. Telephone, again, a very simple appliance attached to an enormously complex, professionally managed network. Why shouldn't the computer network be just the same? I decided to go in the computer business in college. I started working part-time programming. I found it in a very short period of time I could make more money writing programs than a tenured professor at the University of Chicago was making. And I was a teenager.
You see the
No
little thing here?
outcomes.
It's TE outcome. He isn't spitting you on, well, I had a vision of this. He's like, TE outcome, making money, bottom line.
And I said, this is kind of cool. And it was also fun. It was like a big game. It was like working on puzzles. So I enjoyed it. It paid extremely well. I could work at home. I could work at my own hours. No one quite,
Freedom.
and the computer, and I closely associated with computers because they were absolutely a slave to reason. They knew nothing about fashion. They were completely logical, and I enjoyed spending time with them. So I liked what I was doing. It was very profitable. It was very creative, and it was also giving me immediate feedback. I could start writing a program, and within several hours, I could have a result. Freud defines
SC feedback.
maturity as the ability to
TE
defer gratification. And
or
the great thing about programming is you don't have to be mature at
dropping
all.
somebody else's definition. You can't get more TE than that.
Because you don't have to defer gratification for more than a few hours. You get wonderful, tight feedback, and it's a lot of fun. That's characteristic, by the way, of games and sports. The reason why games and sports are so popular is because you win or lose very quickly. You get immediate feedback. It's a very tight
Very
loop. You don't
SE.
wait hours or days
SE.
or years before you find out if you're winning or losing. You find out a second and a half after you release that basketball, you know whether it's gone in or not.
I want to hear this part. You want to close out?
It was in school, and they noticed when I was writing programs for school that I was getting done faster than everybody else. So they offered me,
Outcome, I was getting done
See,
faster than everybody else. High achiever, I'm a three.
they offered me a job, uh, and I figured out very, very quickly that rather than being paid by the hour, I was much better off being paid by the program. So I figured that. So I was working for the university, and then I started doing consulting for local businesses, and that worked very well. I don't think my personality has changed much since I was 5 years old. I think, as I explained to the kids just a little while ago, uh, probably the single most important aspect of my personality, and as far as determining my success, has been my questioning of conventional wisdom, my doubting of experts just because they're experts, and
Ooh,
questioning of
yeah.
authority. And while that can be a very
Questioning authority, pragmatic, and he's got TI. You see that? He's got the TI too, guys. He's got the TI. This guy's a very well developed ENTJ.
very painful in terms of your relationship with your parents and your relationship with your teachers, it's enormously useful in life. I was
that's actually
adopted
pretty good.
within my own family when I was
Hmm?
9 months old. I was
You said PC?
I was just saying that's actually pretty good because I've met a lot of ENTJs, man, and sometimes
They
they
can't
go
think for
all in
themselves.
on TE, man.
They
That
can't think for
imposing
themselves.
takes a yeah, yeah,
They can't think for themselves to
yeah,
save their fucking life. I mean, Donald Trump cannot think for himself to save his fucking life. Bro is such a just terrible with TE. He's just like, PC, give me the summary. Okay, PC's
yeah,
like, da 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 da.
yeah. I know.
Okay, this is
I've
what I'm gonna do in SCTE right now.
yeah.
Boom.
There's literally someone in the Discord, man, that I told him. I said, man, it's like you run TE dot fucking exe for your whole fucking life. It's like a program script, and it's like, oh god, yeah, it's funny.
I was born in New York City. My mother was 19; she wasn't married, and really was unable to care for me. I tried until I was 9 months old, and then I was adopted by my maternal aunt and uncle in Chicago, and moved to Chicago, the South Side of Chicago. I'll never again complain about a bad neighborhood, moving from the Lower East Side of Manhattan to a still worse neighborhood on the South Side of Chicago. So, after my ninth month, I kept my mouth shut about the neighborhood. I believed until I was 12 years old that I was not adopted. I had no idea that I was adopted within my own family. So, again, I don't attribute very much of my life, my personality to my adoption. I do attribute it an awful lot to my relationship with my father, who was a Russian immigrant, came here, was very, very poor, dearly loved this country as only an immigrant can, loved our government as only an immigrant can. He was a pilot in World War II, bomber pilot.
See, even
He
about his dad, he just listed outcomes and achievements.
he really had the philosophy, my country, right or wrong. He never questioned the government's policies, never questioned authority, and didn't really want me to question authority. I had some teachers when I was very, very young that I thought were telling me things that weren't true. And when I tried to ask
Hey, this guy, man. His dad, he's basically saying his dad's affiliative.
questions, they basically wanted me to respond, basically, parrot back what they said. They really weren't interested in a discourse with a child or a debate with a child. They said this was true, and you are smart if you can repeat back to me exactly what I said to you. And I had a real problem with that as well. So I had very strong authoritarian figures both in school and at home, which served as wonderful examples of how not to be. My mom was supportive, and I had a mixture of teachers. Some of the teachers were wonderful, and some of the teachers were awful. But the awful teachers served a good purpose in terms of being a bad example. All examples are good. Bad examples are useful. Good examples are useful, and it taught me to question experts, to question authorities figures. Don't assume just because they're an authority, or even just because they're an expert, that they're right. In other words, think things out for yourself. Come to your own judgments. Don't simply conform to conventional ways of thinking, conventional ways of dressing, conventional ways of acting. That a lot of things are based on fashion. Even morality at times is based on fashion. It was once slavery was once not considered not to
That's
be
very
immoral.
F, yeah, low FI.
Uh, people are shocked that the uh, the ancient Greeks had slaves, that we had slavery in this country as recently as 130, 140 years ago. So there are more moral factors. You have to really go back to first principles and think things out for yourself, whether they're scientific principles or moral principles or business ideas or product ideas. You have
Yeah,
to
dude,
think things
his
out for
his
yourself.
TI is
Well, I
actually
don't know if
pretty
you watched the
developed.
movie Independence Day,
I'm not even
but
gonna lie.
the
Yes, Ti is very good. Yeah, yeah, he ain't bullshit.
He's actually a pretty impressive ENTJ. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna give him his flowers on that one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He's got that Ti on point, baby. He got
Mm.
Ti posing on point. And guys, if you guys aren't aware, your posing does help to sharpen your hero if you actually take it in, and take it in, right? A lot of people will, shut off their posing, but when you actually make big leaps and bounds, when you accept it, take in its criticism, it's only going to make your hero function even better. It's gonna hit you in that golden zone when you're unstoppable. Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
because your hero doesn't like to be humbled, but that's the opposing's job.
yeah.
Yeah,
It
it's
just
like
says,
if you surround yourself with nothing but sycophants, they're only going to tell you what you want to hear. But the opposing is that person who tells you what you need to hear.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, let's say, for instance, we take that guy and we take Donald Trump, right? If Donald Trump has bad people around him and he says, PC, give me a summary, PC could just control what he wants Donald Trump to do because he knows, what's the most immediate thing to do, SE, because Donald's gonna loop TESE, right? But if you're around this guy, he's gonna be like, yo, give me, he gonna ask you for a summary and then he might read behind your ass as well.
Mhm.
So it's kind of a trick, and he's not gonna fall for some bullshit. Um, which is,
Yeah, it would
you
be
can do that.
super easy to social engineer, let's say a TE DOM that hasn't got a TI opposing fucking
Mhm.
showing up because you'd give them the sources that pretty much do what you want them to do.
Yeah, yeah. I would just say in general, if you're dealing with an ENTJ that doesn't have TI unlocked, you can basically just give them TE information that they want to hear, like with FI,
Yeah.
and boom, they're
As
not
I
even
say,
gonna look behind it.
you cherry pick the fucking sources to do what you want, and they pretty much eating
Yeah.
out of your hand. You know what I mean?
Long as it's around something they value, they're not even gonna look at it.
Mm.
It's terrible. Yeah, PC.
And chances are they're just gonna be like, get it done, and delegate it to you on their authority.
Dumbasses. Enneagram, 3W4 SOSP for sure. What are we thinking here? Double D?
Sorry. So, actually, no, man. Like he is way too switched on, bro. I think there's some N in there somewhere.
You think
I'd say
DN?
probably
D?
DN, probably. Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
yeah. He impressed me, bro. I think
D.
he's like one of the first ENTJs that super impressed me.
Yeah, we haven't got, well, I mean, hey guys, do remember we do have our celebrity list up now, so you can go and check out celebrities that we've typed. Let me just go over there real quick. Yeah. Mm, oh shit, I went to the damn configuration. We don't want that. But we do have it. Yeah, oh, there we go. Do. We got like our books and stuff over here as well. So our celebrity list right there. And we're on updating this. There's some people we will change around because there's someone I have to fix on here. But she's in her right category. Taylor Swift, she's INTJ, but we'll fix her in due time. But this is our list, and it will keep growing. So yeah, this guy, I was very interesting. I definitely don't think he's INFJ. He's too bottom line. He's too cutthroat. He's in there fucking talking about slavery. Like, bro, you probably shouldn't be like touching on that subject. But bro doesn't give a
Well,
fuck.
dude, he basically almost wholesale fired his whole company because they weren't getting it done. And the amount of TE, I'm like, yeah, okay, INFJ TE trickster, and
Yeah.
he's just spamming TE like this is like
Well, I
not
mean,
a chance,
and
buddy.
they would feel bad for doing that though, right?
Yeah,
I ain't just gonna feel
exactly.
bad because like, they it hurts them to hurt other people. You know, that
Mm,
FE, they'd rather be a fucking martyr, really,
mm,
than, think about, oh, those 15 families, I gotta do more. They might take on the whole shoulder load for those 15 people. Like, no, the shit, they ain't getting it done. The INFJ probably gonna stretch themselves and put them into an early grave to make sure that they don't have to fire them, so.
we still doing the demigod level?
Oh shit, did we do that? Oh shit, we didn't do that, huh? Oh
No,
damn.
we
Well,
stopped after the subtype.
I forgot about that. PC, why didn't you remind me? I thought we were done. So we got his demigod dojo level. I'm gonna say this guy is above average. He needs to work on his FE. Definitely
I'd,
needs to.
I'd say I'd say above average. Yeah,
Yeah.
actually, no, you got a good point, man, because I didn't really hear much in the way of not much in the way of his fucking parent and critic.
Well,
Like
his
his
parent is there.
opposing
His parent is there. His parent is
his
there.
parent is there. Like you can see residual stuff, but I didn't really see so much in his
But he's
conversation.
got a necessary huge hole of FI and FE. Huge hole.
Mm,
Like huge, huge, huge hole. I would say probably the most switched on ENTJ I've seen when it comes to being like most balanced is Patrick Bet David,
mm,
I think he's
mm,
pretty damn well balanced there. He's got the FI, he's got the FE. And a lot of times ENTJs like Donald Trump, who haven't worked on the FI inferior, anything. Your grandma says that he got a big ass nose, he might comment back, I have a big nose. Like, bro, you don't have to do that.
mm.
Um, just be more secure in yourself, bro. You don't have to do that, bro. I'm not responding to shit, dude. Like, fuck that. People who are actually worth value a lot of times aren't doing the petty, stupid shit. But yeah, it was an interesting one. PC, any closing thoughts on it?
No, I actually like this one, bro. It was
Mhm.
yeah,
Well, thanks again for the request, guys.
and
Yeah,
and definitely yeah, personality done me base actually got it right.
yeah, yeah. So we got another
That's very rare.
ENTJ. We got another ENTJ on our list. So yeah, we'll grow it again. All right, guys. This is Mongolian Mindset. Me and PC are out. We'll catch you guys on the next one.